Hey guys, welcome to week 21 of my updates. It's a beautiful day here, and so I have my windows open. Please forgive me for the traffic noises that are going to happen. It is Easter weekend, and lots of people, you know, a lot of other families tend to do things for holidays like Easter. Mine doesn't. So I'm here at home, just kind of doing my thing. So anyway, I hope you guys are feeling great. I've been feeling pretty good this week, and I am really happy to report that. It's been kind of interesting though. Um, a few weeks ago I reported that I was going to change my intake because I felt like I wasn't getting enough protein. I didn't feel very healthy. Uh, Now it's kind of the opposite. I'm not so much like restricting my food as I've changed the way that I'm doing food. Um, in the last like 2 weeks, I decided to alter my eating schedule, um, because typically what I was doing was I was getting up and I was drinking water at home on the drive to work, and then after I was at work for a little while I would eat a yogurt. But I noticed that almost every time I ate that yogurt, no matter what kind it was, how much sugar it was, like it would taste fine. I wouldn't have an issue in that regard so much, but for whatever reason, um, it was hard on my stomach. Like I just wouldn't feel so great. Um, so I kind of debated a lot. I know that a lot of the instructions say, 3 meals a day. Um, I think that a lot of the instructions that are given to you for bariatric surgery care and like post-op life um, are really geared towards people who have never constructed a scheduled eating lifestyle or um, had to manage their food in any way. So it's like you're trying to take somebody who's used to eating all day and put them into a very structured schedule instead of somebody who's used to a pretty structured schedule, um, you know, just changing to a different schedule. Like I was trying to do their thing thinking that it would be better, but uh, anyway, my point being that I switched my morning protein from a heavily milk-based, potentially hard to digest food to protein water. I did do a lot of research on that. A lot of the protein waters, um, they have a proprietary blend of whey and collagen, and a lot of people are very anti-collagen protein for the bariatric patient. There are also people out there who say that it does just fine, and so I did some research on it, and even though it's not listed as an option on my paperwork from my surgeon, um, in reading about it, I realized like it's not so much that it's not a protein, it's just not a complete protein in the sense that I believe the thing that it's missing is a certain amino acid called tryptophan. Um, this being one that we typically would need. Traffic noise. Um, so when the surgeon's looking at making recommendations, like how can I make a recommendation to this person that will give them the most complete proteins to rely on so that they will have the best healing and the most consistent nutrient sources, they wouldn't offer something that didn't have all of the amino acids. What I did learn through that, though, is that it's not going to hurt me to use one product for the day where part of it is collagen protein. And what what ended up happening anyway, this is my point in talking about all this, is a couple weeks ago I started making my morning routine be that I didn't eat anything, or if I did have something, it would be protein water. And it would be a specific kind of protein water. Um, so I was using that and starting the day off with this water that had 15 grams of protein, some of which was collagen. And I, like, everything started to move better. Like my GI system seemed to be processing better. Um, I felt better. Um, I, I I don't really know how to describe it, but I'm starting to wonder if I might be one of the people who actually became more or less lactose intolerant or incapable of digesting lactose after surgery. Because, I mean, like, if I seem to be doing much better on less complicated sources of protein, it kind of supports that. So I think that what I'm going to try and do is that if I do any more thicker milk shakes in the morning, I'm definitely going to be using like my shake powders and using lactose-free milk or ice water to make those shakes, and see if that makes a significant impact, because the powders, the ones that I use, they typically have a much lower content of lactose than other things. So kind of bums me out because I really like using cheese and things like that, but I'm just finding that the more I cut down on those things, the better it seems to be going. As a result of that, this is another reason why I'm thinking that might be the route to go. Um, I have lost a lot of weight in the last 2 weeks. Definitely much more, like much closer to what they expect from me at this point than what I have been doing. And as of this week, I hit my 200 pounds down from my highest weight mark. That's what I decided was going to be like the next milestone. I was really, really excited about it. I celebrated. I bought myself a new outfit. Like, this blue tank top is part of it. Like, we're talking, like, this is a really tight workout outfit, which I would never have dared to wear before, ever. Even at this size before, never, ever, ever would I have dared to wear this. But I have actually not only worn it, but I wore it out in public. So I guess my confidence has changed quite a bit. I also bought myself a new bed pillow, and I let myself put a new thing on my Amazon Subscribe and Save that would provide me a more, like, an easily taken source of protein for the morning that is that sort of whey and collagen based mix. I figure, let's stick with what's working, and as long as I make sure there are other sources in my life that provide amino acids, complete ones, I should be fine. I guess, I mean, like, that's my update. Like, things have been going really well. I feel very confident. I feel things are looking fairly good. There has been a couple of things that I'm not struggling to accept, but I kind of feel like maybe people around me will struggle to accept. I know I've mentioned before that I was losing my hair. Well, now it's starting to become a little more obvious, and I thought I might show on camera. Um, it's kind of hard to show with like the long hair. The best thing I can tell you about the long hair is that every other day or so, like my scalp will kind of hurt no matter which way I put my hair. And then like the next day when I wash my hair or whatever, like just clumps will come out. Not clumps, but you know, like a lot of hair will come out. But what I had noticed recently was that the short hair has been kind of slowly peppering around my work area. So I looked in the mirror, and I realized that it's becoming fairly obvious that my hair is thinning, and you can tell in the buzz cut, and you can really tell on the right side. So I thought I would show. Like you can see, it's getting thin through here. And then I actually have this spot that's right here that when I touch it, it's like cold because it's like I know on the camera it kind of doesn't really look like anything except for like my hair is pulled out of the way or something. Because you see, as I kind of brush my hair across it or whatever, the hair doesn't settle over that. That's because it's like this tiny, like, that's a bald spot. Now, the left side is just thinning right now. Luckily, you know, I shaved the sides of my head, so it's not super obvious, and the more bald it is, like the more spots that show up like that, the more likely it is that I will keep it shorn really, really short. But even like if you look back in the old videos, you might notice a difference in this ponytail thickness. Like, it's definitely not nearly as much hair as it used to be. So it's kind of sad because like I really like having the undercut. I really like that, but if it just gets too much, like I'm just gonna get rid of it, start again. And I don't know how like people like at work or people that I date or anything like that will handle me not having hair. The other thing is that it's becoming very clear that my arms have deflated, and I thought also for the sake of just like kind of showing people, you know, one of the reasons why like going out in public in this particular outfit is kind of a big deal is like I would typically hide my arms. My arms have a lot of stretched out skin from both being a softball player, because that did happen when I was in softball, but also being fat. So my arms got pretty big, and now they're clearly deflating. And you see this, like this is all like just flat. And when I turn my arm, as you see, like there's this this is a definition of my arm. And then this is just everything else that's just there. It's kind of weird because you can see some muscle to it, but some of, you know, I guess the reason why I'm showing it is because like for other people going through this process, like there's gonna be those points where it's like, you know, you've made all this progress, but then you have like arms that are like this, you know, and you're like, oh my God, like I've been trying to buff out and I've got bat wings. And, you know, unfortunately, in like a tank top or whatever, when your arm is just setting down, like they look huge. And nobody, you know, you lift your arm up and it looks fine. And you put it down and it's like, boom. But, I mean, that's kind of the nature of the beast, because, like, I mean, at the same time, like, I remember when all of this was full, you know, like, when it wasn't just jiggling because it was loose, it was big, fat, meaty arms. So, anyway, I, I want people who watch these videos to be aware, you know, like, some of this stuff is just, it's just part of life now. And, you know, I mean, the arms thing, for example, that's why I started saving money for plastic surgery from day one. I kind of figured, you know, even if they turn out later to say that, you know, because of the weight that I lost, that it's medically necessary, at least then I have like a bundle of money that I can fall back on for new clothes or something. But for right now, I mean, I'm saving for it because I want to plan to be not just like healthier, but I do want to look better. And I don't care if that means I'll have a scar down my arm. Like, I would rather have the scar down my arm and be able to show off my muscles than always have my muscles be hidden by the skin of my past. So anyway, that's my update. Nothing else really to talk about, so I'm gonna let the video go. As always, if you have any questions or anything, let me know. Follow the Facebook page and all that good stuff, and I will talk to you next week. Next week it'll be after my next big dental thing, so hopefully I'll be able to talk. It might not nearly be as long as this video, so at least you can breathe easy on that one. Till then, take care of yourselves, and I will be around. See ya!